Hey guys, happy Wednesday. Hey, before I start this with you guys, I wanted to throw a date out there to you guys. So next week, Thursday, May 7th at 10 a.m., I'm going to hold a little Google Meets just with your class. I just honestly would love to see you guys and hear from you and see how you're doing. Maybe talk about some high school stuff for next year, any questions you might have. And I think it'd be really great to check in, just kind of see each other. Um, it would be great to have all of you. You guys could see each other if you haven't seen each other in a while. I'm sure some of you guys have been keeping in touch, but I'd love to have you guys come in. I will make that your assignment for that day, and it will not be mandatory, but as much as not mandatory, I'd really like it if you all could be there. So, for today's lesson, I have two IXLs for you. They are both pretty simple, and they are skills that, things that we just need to keep working on reviewing. So when you get to high school, it's stuff that's easy for you, or it's not something super difficult, something that you forgot because you did a long time ago. So the first lesson you're going to see, honestly, is going to give you. It's just really easy for the most part. It's going to say something like this, and it's going to say, is it positive or negative? And you just answer. So if you remember our rules, a negative times a negative equals a positive, and a negative times a positive equals a negative, okay? Or the other way around, positive times negative equals also a negative, okay? So that's going to be a really easy one, and that's going to be I, C, 16, and I'd like you to go to 100 on that, because honestly, it doesn't matter. They're going to give you really big numbers, like negative 1 million divided by positive 500,000. It doesn't matter, right? It's not about the numbers, okay? It's just asking if it's going to be a positive or a negative answer. Something I think you guys can all do pretty well, okay? The second lesson, remember that first one is IC16. Go to score 100. Write that down. I'm going to be erasing that here in a second. There it goes. Your second lesson is pretty much the same thing, but you're actually answering them. So, an easy one you might see something that looks like this: 9 over negative 3. And remember that fraction bar just means divide. So 9 divided by 3 is 3, and a positive divided by a negative is a negative, okay? So it's the same as multiplying. You might see it look like this: 35 divided by negative 7. 35 divided by 7 is 5, and a positive divided by a negative is a negative, okay? So just remember your rules. Take your time going through this one. Don't rush through it, or else that's how you're going to end up doing a bunch of questions. I would ask that you try not to use a calculator, at least until you get up to around 70. I would like you to, and if you need to use a calculator, that's fine. Okay, if the numbers get a little too big, like they might ask you something like this, like negative 7 times 12. If that's something you can't do in your head, okay. Make sure that you are using a calculator at least to double check your work to make sure you're getting it right, okay. And this lesson is IC17, and I'd like you to go to a score of 85. If you feel like a little extra challenge, I did this one up to 100, and it was fun. I had to kind of think through. Some of the numbers are a little harder, and I tried doing it without a calculator. So if you're really looking for a good challenge for yourself, see if you can do some harder multiplication, division problems with a score up to 100 without a calculator. Okay, that would be the ultimate challenge. So have a good day, and hopefully I will see you guys. And I'll remind you next week, but hopefully I'll see you guys next Thursday, May 7th at 10 a.m. I will email you a Google Meet.